Right, thought I'd do another plot tour, as you know, I'm bored. So I've taken my cabbages out of this bed, still got my shallots, thrown some chard in down here. So what are they called? French beans. Obviously got my overwintered shallots all around there. I'm aware I've got a lot of weeding to do and the grass to cut. Got a raspberry, another raspberry, and then a blackberry and another blackberry I'm yet to plant. But my summer planting cabbages in there, along with what seems to be a load of green manure that I don't actually remember planting. Doesn't matter, I'll turn it all in anyway. Strawberries, well chuffed actually. Started on this plot 18 months ago with 6 plants. Whilst yes, it needs weeding again, the never-ending battle. You know, I've got considerably more than 6 plants now, and then my white ones, what are they called? Pine berries, which are all down here. All came from that one plant which I got from B&Q last year for like 50p. It was a whoopsed one. My overwintered cabbages, don't actually know if they're going to head up now. Weather's a bit warm, they're probably going to bolt, so they may end up as chicken food. Still feeds me ultimately, I eat the eggs. And then obviously, as before, all bordered with shallots, different variety of shallots. They're Longor, they're some unpronounceable French name. Cabbages, garlic, it's garlic. Not a great deal of changes. Not had a great deal of luck with alliums, although this year I seem to be, yes, it's a little bit of rust coming through, but it's not something I'm going to worry about. It tends not to affect the bulbs. You only need to worry about, what's it called, is it white allium rot? More onions, overwintered. Once again, my soil, when I took over this plot, I couldn't test it. It was and then when I did test it, found out basically it's knackered. It's not been fed for a good couple of years. So, you know, this winter, everything's going to get retired. I'm not going to overwinter anything, and I'm just going to grow. I'm not even going to grow anything. I'm just going to cover everything in about 4 inches of horse muck. Let things grow out this way. There's a dirty dog bowl. Chickens. Just have some lettuce and some spare cabbage. Got a gooseberry. Now the missus remembers, I don't. They're a berry of some description, either red currant or black currant. They're here. Apple. I'm going to publish this video on YouTube, so I'm going to ask. Obviously, it's first year. I transplanted it from another plot, so I don't expect it to do very much. But it hasn't done very much leaf growth. Obviously it's not died, but it hasn't done any leaf growth. As before, non-edible crap. Cherries. Well chuffed. Second year for this on this. Oh dear, aphids. Right, I need to deal with that before I go home. Yeah, aphids, I shall deal with these before I go home. To be honest, I'll probably just blast them with water, and then I'll spray the whole thing with neem oil. And see, they're having the good old munch on the leaf sap in there. So they need getting rid of. Blueberry, as before, it was heavily pruned. I didn't expect it to do anything really this year, but yeah, it's going to bear fruit. Don't forget, if you're growing blueberries, you need to feed them ericaceous compost or an ericaceous feed. My peach, yeah, it's looking really sorry for itself. I'm going to take all the foliage off. It's not blister mite like I originally thought it was. It's something else. It's a leaf disease. It looks like I inherited it from the nursery where I got it from. I'm going to name and shame. It was from Marshall's. It had that disease in year 1. I stripped all the foliage off, I gave it a winter wash, didn't help. So I'm going to strip all the foliage off, and this year I'm going to wash it repeatedly with a copper sulfate solution, which should kill evil bastards, which should kill hopefully the fungus. It's a fungus. It's a good word, that, fungus. Ooh, what are you? You shouldn't be in there. What are you? Pear, I think. Yeah, pear. It bore fruit. There was fruit on it. I don't know if it's still in there somewhere. I certainly can't find them. I think that I think it came too early. I think it's going to come to nothing this year, because I think the flowers and everything, as with a lot of fruit, it fruited really early in the season because of that warm snap we got, and subsequently when the frosts came back, you know, it's killed off the developing fruit. But you know, we'll see. There's no flowers on it. I don't think it's going to flower again, but it's only year 2. It's a really young plant. I'm not worried about it. Another blueberry, different variety to that one. If you're going to grow blueberries, you do need, so I'm told, 2 different varieties to cross-pollinate. Oh, looks like my apple's got aphids on as well. Yeah, that's I think they're called woolly aphids, because they're if it focuses, because they have a woolly appearance. Same treatment, blast them off with a hose, neem oil, tends to keep them back. I try not to spray if I can help it, but I'm not adverse to using a chemical spray. Peas, and then down here I just sprinkle a load of swede, not swede, turnip. I know a lot of people are going to say the same thing. They're not. And then I've got me normal, these are ambassador peas that I've done this year. Hopefully be able to uncover them, and they'll be able to stand up to the, oh, they've gone, to the evil bastards that were perched up there 5 minutes ago. In here I've got my sugar snap peas. I didn't think any survived. I thought a mouse had eaten every single pea, but a fair few survived. That's why I planted another 30 odd. But I'm going to give this a heavy weed, and I'm going to put them in today. If not today, they'll be going in tomorrow. Look at all these volunteer potatoes. You can tell I must have missed a load in this row last year, because all my potatoes last year were from here down. This year they're from here up. I'm not overly bothered about rotation, but why not? Anyway, corn. Really had crap germination on my corn. I've sown close to 150, and you know, I think I'll be lucky if I've got 50. So yeah, leeks, can't see. I'm not going to dwell on them. There's my potatoes. A lot of people have said, why have you covered them in straw? Purely and simply, I had a straw bale, because that's what I use for nesting materials for the chickens. The bale bust open, and I didn't need it for the chickens because I changed them over to a wood chip whilst it was warm, and I needed something to do with the bales. But they're coming through. They've been mounded up once, and then obviously the straw was put on top of the mounds, so they're not doing too bad. I've got a fair few varieties in this year. I'm doing International Kidney, Pentland Javelin, no, that's the other way around. Then I've got Purple Majesty in this one. You can just about see they're starting to come through. This one's Desiree or Desire, or however the hell you want to say it, nobody seems to know. This one is King Edward's, and then an old faithful Maris Pia. I don't think you can mock Maris Pia at all. Yes, I know dandelions and grass are bad, but come at me. Tomatoes, my extras are now dying. Nobody wanted them. Everybody seems to grow hundreds of tomatoes, and nobody wants the spares, so you know, anyway, it is what it is. I'm going to get in here and weed after I've done this video. But here I've got a yellow cherry, which is an absolute gorgeous one. that my allotment neighbour gave me 2 plants 2 years ago. I've been harvesting seeds from ever since, and they're absolutely beautiful. On this side I've got San Marzano number 2, I think number 7. San Marzano number 7. These are coming on in leaps and bounds. These are the ones that I really nurture. The San Marzano are the best for making your tomato sauces, your ragouts, any tomato sauce really, from ketchup to pasta sauces. Lettuce, I've been cropping my lettuce, so you know there's only 4 or 5 left in there. They'll be eaten over the course of the next couple of weeks, and then I'm going to sow little gem, just because it's really fast. Down here I've got cucumber, a ridge variety. It's just a good standard cucumber, nothing too fancy. These little guys down here, just for shits and giggles, cucamelons. Just keeps the kids interested, gives them something to munch on, point and laugh at. And then 4 little ladyfinger okra. I've been playing about growing them for a year or 2 now. Never really had anything from them, but I had the space, why not? Assorted chilies, so we've got sugarish peach, I think that's also, no, that's a jalapeno at the back. There's some big mare's tail in there, I need to get that out before I forget. Let me grab that now. That is an orange bell, so it's just a bell pepper. That one will also be an orange bell. That one will also be an orange bell. That's a jalapeno. That's a jalapeno. That's a sugarish peach. Sugarish peach and sugarish peach. I'm really pushing them this year. I want to harvest seeds from them. I've got loads of people wanting seeds. If I've got enough, I shall be certainly sharing the wealth on those, because it's a beautiful pepper. And then I've got my favourite use for a cucumber, pickling gherkins. I mean, I've even got volunteer potatoes that have grown right the way up through my beetroot bed. So yeah, my beetroot. My grapes, well chuffed with this. This little plant was given to me not 3 weeks ago. I planted it in here. We've got baby grapes, and it seems quite happy, seems quite strong. Could do with some advice on how to trail that though, because I'm absolutely clueless. And then we've got what is supposed to be a jalapeno and a bell. I think I got my labels wrong, because I can't tell the difference between them, and these peppers are not rounding up. They look jalapeno-ish, but we'll see. Some more Purple Majesty potatoes in 30 litre pots. That is pretty much it. The plot is a bit of a mess. I've never really got round to having a good sort out, purely and simply because I'm going to rebuild a lot of it next year, or this coming winter. But my growing space is certainly coming along, certainly looking a lot better. So I'm going to get the cover on these shallots and beans before they're still not come back, before the pigeons come down. Some more plants I've got to find some homes for. Got a honeydew melon. If it focuses, it's focusing on my hand. Focus on my hand, focus on that. Got a honeydew melon and another sugarish peach chili. Yeah, these are the peas. Sugar snaps, kids got mental for these. Jack-o'-lantern pumpkins, I purely grow those, not for eating. Nobody in my household can stand squash. I plant them around the base of my sweet corn and let them trail into the corn. It just helps suppress weeds. Anybody who's grown pumpkins know that they're a massive plant. They just take over. Then they've got some, what are these? Sunflowers. My third sowing of sweet corn, which, as you can see, once again, crap germination rate. I don't know what I'm doing wrong. But speaking to the other plot holders, I'm not the only one. Then more berries, but these are from the cheapo plants that were in B&Q over winter. Honestly can't remember what they are. That one I know is a hazelnut because the label survived. All the others have blown away. And I think that just about concludes a whistle-stop tour of everything I'm currently growing. Yeah, so sort of wood, all for building projects that are going to take place through winter. I'm going to try and document them as best I can, because I know a lot of people struggle for how to build. I'm not a good builder by any sense of the terms, but you know, if it works, it works. So yeah, I'm going to sign off there, and there's a chicken feeder.